Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday for Prowess Goes Live. Favorite time of the week. I say it every time. Favorite time of the week. We absolutely love going live with all of you and especially with this topic. So before we get started, we are going to get the back and forth going as always. And my starter question for you, so do not think. I'm going to say something. Do not think. Do not just as soon as I say this word, what is the next word that comes to mind? The word is AI. Put into chat, what is the next word that comes to mind? Do. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Audra. Hi, Holly. Hi, Natalie. Hello. Natalie, get out of my head. Is the first word after I say LFG, because that was the first thing that came to my mind too. AI amazing. Love that, Lainey. Losing jobs. Interesting, Audra. Must learn now. Good one, Stacy. Creative. Ooh, that's a good one. True love. It says it's me. It's actually Leah. Oh, these are so good. Keep them up. When I say the word AI, what is the first word that comes to mind, or sentence, or phrase, or what have you? Put it into chat. Put it into chat. Mine was LFG, which Natalie put in here at the same time, which is absurd, but also same wavelength. So good. Okay, while the last people are putting in what their shorter timeframes, great one. While everyone else is finishing up putting in the chat what the first word is when that comes to mind after I say AI. Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley Connell, CEO and founder of Prowess Project. What is Prowess Project? We help mainly women return to the workforce or pivot in their careers to become online business managers. When I say OBM, think a cross between the strategy of a COO and the get shit done of an AVA, all in one package. And what we are seeing taking the OBM world by storm is AI. And we at Prowess Project are building this new standard of OBM that is AI powered. And so with all of these new skills, as a Prowess OBM, we also match you up with potential clients who you'll hear what I'm hearing from them very, very, very shortly. All right. Okay, everyone. So today's session, from I wish to AI can, reimagining the OBM toolkit. I was so excited about today's session because you're going to get a little inside glimpse of Leah in my back and forth. So I'm going to sit here and I am going to have my CEO hat on. Like I'm going to hire an OBM, or I'm working with an OBM, and I'm going to bring Leah up on who is going to be the OBM and how you can solve the problem that the CEO has. But before I even get started in that, I want to give you a little insight. As a reminder, I speak to at least 3 CEOs a day about what is going on in their business, what ops problems they have, where they want to go in their business, what they want to achieve next, what freedom looks like for them. And there has never been a tool that is more life-changing and trajectory changing than AI for the micro business. And what we mean by micro business is this is the solopreneur to probably, 10 employees. They're doing about 250 in revenue to about 3 million. This with AI is where they shine. Finally, it is within their reach to have the same tech, the same access to technology as corporations have had in the past, right? So what that means is they no longer have to hire an expert person to bring on to help them get the results or solve the problem that they need. They have AI. So what this means now is there is less people management for them, right? Because most of the time as a solopreneur, you are hiring a bunch of fractional people. And that means that you are people managing all of them as well as project managing all of them and your customers. So what does that mean? They get to that 200, 250, they're making a lot of money. And what happens? They're no longer focused on the growth of their business because they're managing, they're running their business, or they're putting out fires. That is what we typically see. On the other hand, which is also a dead end, they could be doing it all. They could be the solopreneur who is doing it all and they get stuck because there are only so many hours of the day and they're working 14, 15, 16 of them. You can only do that for so long. And that is, either of those are perfect opportunities to bring in an online business manager, especially one that knows AI. So, for example, we had this client who had 4 different contractors, and the CEO was managing all of them and was completely overwhelmed and had absolutely no time to think about her business and being creative, which was really the moneymaker in the business. And instead, she replaced all 4 of those contractors with one OBM who utilized AI to do all of the things that those contractors were doing. And guess what? The CEO now manages one person, not 4. So you can see the value there. It's so much less heaviness in the business. So again, when I'm talking to all of these CEOs, they're coming to us to hire an online business manager. And what they are not saying is, Ashley, how do I utilize AI to solve this problem? They're not saying that at all. They just want to know how to solve this problem. And here's why. Because for many of them, AI feels like this big, hairy monster that they don't have the time or energy or expertise to go dive into. And it can feel like a rabbit hole to them. And if they're not like technically inclined anyway, then it's even more of a learning curve. So what ends up happening is they just put their head in the sand and they know they need to utilize AI, but they have no idea what that means. And they have no idea what it can do for their business other than writing a simple blog post. And as you all know, there are so much more. So again, I do not get the question of straight up of, hey, can an OBM help me with AI? Again, they're not thinking about that. That is truly the how when they're thinking of the results. How do I get more leads? How do I improve the systems in my business? How do I have someone else manage all of the clients? That is what they're asking me. But you know, because you're a smart OBM, that you can utilize AI to exceed their expectations in every single way. So Leah and I were talking about this problem of how again, clients aren't asking for AI, but oftentimes that could be the answer to their problems, and how as OBMs, you need to know that. And she had this great idea of, Ashley, well, what if in this session you asked questions of what you wish CEOs would ask you about AI? And I was like, that is so brilliant, because then it's really going to break down the different aspects of their business that you as an OBM know that you can utilize AI to solve their problem in a much more efficient, effective, and quite frankly, probably a more comprehensive way. And that is the beauty of generative AI. So I'm going to bring up the amazing Leah Steinkirch.
Hello, hello. I borrowed your hello, Ashley.
Sorry. I know. I didn't do my hello today. And I feel kind of naked without it. So thank you for bringing that.
No problem.
All right. So again, recap, we're going to do a kind of role play and then just talk through it of the questions that I wish that I was getting from CEOs. And so the way I want you to think about it is, this is what you should be hearing. And then Leah is going to be continuing on the how, or what you can utilize AI to solve that problem. All right. So first question is, I wish that CEOs were asking me, what are all the different ways that I could utilize AI in my business? And because what I really hear them saying is, I don't care about the how. I want the results. The less time, the more leads, the more revenue. So, Leah, how would you solve that? How would you answer that question of they really just want the results?
What I like about this is that this is just what OBMs are naturally doing anyway. You don't have to have some high science AI implemented answer to get started in the conversation. You're going to do what you've done in any discovery call or any, networking, engaging with someone who has a problem that you could possibly solve. You're going to ask the curious questions. You're going to listen and reflect back and make sure you're understanding it. And then you might ask something like give a suggestion or an example of something that you've done in the past with AI and start to see if they're receptive. Because that's really it, is some people are not receptive to it and some people are. So if that's what you love doing, those are the kind of clients you want to attract. And so once they get really excited about that answer and they want to know more, then you can, say, let me go do my research, let me go dig in and then come back. Because giving them the middle and how you do it and getting really excited about the nuts and bolts, you're going to lose them.
Absolutely going to lose them. It always goes back to sell the vacation, not the plane ride.
Exactly.
Get to the results, get to the success metrics. Don't tell them about the 737 and the middle seat that they have that is cheaper and they have to pay for their snacks.
Right. I mean, ethically, we want to tell them we're using AI, right? You're going to say that. You're going to say this is a solution that I have that's AI driven. And then, right, but again, like you're saying, Ashley, you want to give them an example of the results, give them an example of what you can do rather than, again, what your prompt is going to look like in ChatGPT.
And with that too, this is your opportunity to really surprise and delight, because they're going to have expectations of how long whatever it is going to take and what done is going to look like from either previous work experiences, or maybe they worked with another OBM who wasn't using AI or something along those lines. And you may come back to them in 4 hours and have something that blows them out of the water. And they're like, holy smokes, this is amazing. So really always be thinking about surprise and delight, surprise and delight. And they don't need to know how Leah hates this, but the sausage being made.
Right. You could even be setting up your own like GPT to take what someone might be doing, have it give you solutions, have it give you other questions you could go back and ask, the obvious and non-obvious solutions that might be there, present that in a report format. And then when you get the question, oh my gosh, how did you turn this around so fast? There's your example of how AI could help in their business. So if they are not an early adopter, it's a great way to give an example of your work and how it could help support their business.
And also, Leah touched on this, but I really want to underscore it. If you want to focus on AI, it's okay to say, and you're talking to a client or a prospect who doesn't, it's okay to say, hey, I think I have someone else that could be a great OBM for you. Like, reminder, you don't need hundreds and hundreds of clients. You need, 4 or 5. So get the ones that are going to be good fits for you, where you can really do the work that lights you up, because that's really, really important.
Yes.
All right. Next question that I wish people or CEOs were asking me. I wish they were asking me, Ashley, I want to use generative AI to go beyond the blog. Like when I ask them, are they using AI? The only thing that I hear is, oh yeah, it helps me write some blog posts. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, there's so much more. I wish they were asking me, how do I use generative AI to get more insights on my data? CEOs are constantly coming to me being like, hey, I have data all over the place, or I have all of these numbers, but I'm not tracking it well. And therefore I'm definitely not making sense of it. And I don't even know how to use it to make better decisions. So what do I go do? How do I solve this problem? And so an OBM who can solve this problem, especially use generative AI with it, you're going to be worth your weight in gold.
Absolutely. And this is where I get on my strongly suggest that OBMs are using the paid version of ChatGPT and using Code Interpreter. Again, you want to tell someone that you're going to be using an AI product to help look at data. You're going to want to scrub the data so that it's private. But what you can get back from looking at that data and analyzing it, whether that is, metrics of clicks on a Facebook ad or whatever it is, what I love about it is it gives me other insights and other things that I wasn't thinking of in its observations. So it's like my own thought partner. So then I can look at that and be like, that might be a question I need to ask. That's a good question. What happened on these dates? And so I can do it faster, and I feel like I can go way deeper. So even though I feel like I need to get in there and take a little bit more time setting this up, scrubbing the data, what I get out of it is so much richer of a product to bring back.
And would you also say, Leah, that we hear from OBMs that they're intimidated by the data aspect of business, or the insights, I should say? So is it a confidence boost for them because it's someone to double check their work, or, to your point, the thought partner? I love that you said that. That's exactly what it is.
With what I love about using Code Interpreter is you can have it review the data. You can get in there and test to make sure it's giving you, it's correct, right? You always want to make sure it doesn't go off the rails. Then when it gives you the observations, or you can say, these are my top 3 findings, you can then ask it, what am I not looking at? What am I missing? So then if you feel like, because I have no problem talking about my own imposter syndrome. You go into a meeting and you think, oh my gosh, is someone going to bring up something that I didn't see and I'm going to feel inadequate, right? You can go pretty deep with that. And so that way, if you have 6 or 7 other observations and someone brings up something, you can confidently say, yeah, I didn't have time to get to that. Or that's great. Let me go back and rerun the data. And you'll know that you're bringing all that value, all that you naturally have, and then the enhancements you can get with AI.
And what you are delivering to the CEO is confidence and peace of mind that they are making educated decisions, and that again, worth its weight in gold. Worth its weight in gold.
Ashley, wouldn't you say that this happens all the time with our team? Is we'll have something, we love how it's going, and we don't have the time to go back and look at the follow-up metrics, like just wrapping things up, right? We're on to the next exciting thing. We love engaging with people, so we don't have as much time. But now I can take all of that using Code Interpreter, and it's so much faster. I can get back what I needed, versus knowing that you have that big Excel project where you're going to have to export data and create pivot tables and move this around and then find it and then run it again. That's where it's saving me a ton of time. And one other tip I have is that it saves me time in the Excel formulas I can't remember. How many times do I spend time being like, how do I do that again? But now I can either ask it what's the formula for Excel, or have it run it. And so I'm not trying to do that in Excel.
Oh, Leah, I just absolutely love this. I didn't even think about like the mental load or energy leaks of like knowing that you're procrastinating on something. Oftentimes it's the running all of the numbers at the end of a campaign. Yeah. That's such a good point. Such a good point. So another question that we get, or I wish I got, was, Ashley, how can my OBM utilize AI to enhance the client experience for my customers? I really wish I was hearing that more and more. What I am hearing is, I need someone to manage my client experience. I need someone to go through the experience and give me ways to solve the problems. I need someone to think about ways to surprise and delight my customers. No one is saying anything about AI, but that is the game changer. So, Leah, if someone came to you and said that, what would you say?
Well, my first question would be like, is the problem more in responding, right? Like figuring out what they need from you? Or is this in you just don't have enough time. And so you need to like replicate, right? And now we have so many options where we can help with that. So where would you like me to start, Ashley?
So let's start with, this is the solopreneur who they sell group training. And that part of that is access to them to answer questions. And they're the sole person who's doing that. Like, what would you suggest they do to have a better experience for their customers?
Well, and this is where the chatbots are becoming super useful. And there's two different ways that you can go about it right now. You can create the chatbot that is more knowledge-based driven. And in order to get, so that would be where you kind of have a wiki, you have a FAQ that you're going to give this chatbot and say, if they ask these questions, here's the answers. And so you're very much controlling that experience. But even to help that CEO figure out what that is, I would be using something like WebPilot to go and do research on their product pages, do research on their whole web page to get what it is that might be, right? It's an easy way to do it. And now you can use just URLs. You don't have to create the full wiki a lot of times. The other way to do it with chatbots is they're AI generated, right? So you're going to give it information, you're going to give it URLs to look at, but it is asking the questions very much. And you program that assistant. So you tell it what tone to use, what is its purpose, what voice you want it to speak in. You can give it those brand parameters, and it will then answer it. So if the simple goal is just to get them to schedule a call, those chatbots are doing amazing things.
And the latter example of the chatbot where you are utilizing AI to help answer those questions, the CEOs that I tell them about this, they don't even know that this exists. They think of a chatbot like what Leah said at first, like, hey, I have all of the plugged answers, and the chatbot is going to look on the, database of, hey, this is the question the person's asking, this is the answer I give. That's how they think that a chatbot would work. But now with AI, if you know how to program that well, and like, let's be honest, the programming will be a forever tweaking thing, and that's okay. Like, you're always going to get better and better and better. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is you can blow their mind. like blow their mind. Blow their mind. The next question that I'm getting, or I wish I was getting, I keep saying that. Maybe, I'm just manifesting, right? I'm manifesting all of these questions that are coming to me. What are 3 things every micro business should implement when it comes to AI? What would you say, Leah?
One is having that, what we call the transformation statement, the exercises using ChatGPT to develop that one statement about your company. It's, who is your target market, how you're solving their problem, who you are, so that you can then quickly put that into other private GPTs. So, and it's an easy way if they are working with other contractors, that they're saying, this is already my transformation statement. So going through the exercise of creating that is one thing I would definitely think needs to happen. 2, it would be setting up those private GPTs. I am shocked at how fast I can move through my day, but I have about 4 that I have trained. I have that transformation statement. I've put it in there, and then I've told it this is what it's an expert on, using kind of that pilot prompt scenario to say, this is what you're doing, who you are, how you're going to help this person. This is the tone you speak in. This is your goal. And so I have one for my kind of marketing exercises that I have to do. I can have another one that's for data analytics, but I can just have that sitting there and bounce between those. And a lot of times what it's helping me do is not pause or get stuck when I'm like, oh gosh, I got to go create that email, but I don't really know what I want to say. I can just go to my GPT, have it generate an answer, and then be like, yes or no, but it just helps me move faster. And then the last one would be using AI to help with your SEO and any kind of your meta tags. So again, there are GPTs that you can use for that. There's other softwares. Some of the original SEO software has gotten so much better because it's using AI, but that's an easy one, a low-hanging fruit, a quick way to help someone just start to drive more traffic to their website, which is going to mean more leads.
And Leah, you're doing that with Prowess Project now, and we're seeing like the success. And you just started.
Yeah, and it's really just for the fun of it, to be honest. Like on a weekend, I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do this. And so just keywording away over here.
I love that. Just, some simple fun, good old hearted fun on the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone's heard me say like marketing's not my thing. That's Ashley's. I'm not the content writer. But now, I mean, forgive me, Ashley, but a lot of times I'm not running like all of it by you because we've developed that transformation statement. The bots, you've been like, yes, Leah, this is how the brand, the voice I want. And so we're just moving. And we get so much more done now.
Y'all, yes. Yes. And I'm currently doing a time audit on my own time. And I just realized even the past 2 days how much time I used to be eyeballing content, like just second looking at content that I don't have to do anymore. So anyway, you're messing with SEO and meta tags, and I'm listening to hours upon hours of business podcasts. We are nerds.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
are nerds. Okay. So this is the last question that I wish I got. And if people asked this, I feel like it would unlock their biggest problem. So oftentimes clients come to us and they're like, Ashley, I need a system and a repository, aka CRM, for all of the different leads that I have, all the people I've ever spoken to, so that I can follow up with them, move them through the funnel. Like there are so many people I need to call, and I just have no idea. Like it's unorganized. I wish they were asking me, how do I use AI to get better leads or to lead nurture the leads that I already have? I wish they were asking me that. So Leah, how would you answer that?
I would start asking a lot of questions around their lead magnet is where I would start. And what you can do with lead magnets and AI right now is, again, this I feel like is a playground where you can create that instead of it being, like old school, here's your free guide and they download it. And then you follow up and say, did you read it? Well, now giving them a tool where they can give you some answers. And then instead of it being this guide or this white paper, this ebook, you're saying, let me create a custom report on you. And it's the icing, right? That top of the tier, this question you can help them solve that tells them, oh, this person gets me. This is the person I want to work with. And you can give them back that data in a customized way. And then the benefit of that, though, is that for all the CRM lovers out there, you then now have all this information on this person because they've answered these questions. You can be tagging it and then slipping into their inbox the exact asset they need in a much shorter amount of time. And again, it's with AI and with some automation through Zapier, you can create these amazing reports that person feels like, oh my gosh, they must have a magic ball.
And Leah already talked about 4 different benefits, I think, with that one like lead magnet. But the benefit that is really just ties us all together is if you're using that for your own OBM business, you turn around and say, hey, guess what, client, I can build this for you. And then they're like, oh, holy smokes, wait, this isn't just like something that you're paying for. Like, no, this can be customized for their own business to solve their own clients' problems. And why I am so passionate about this is because, and y'all have heard me talk about this till I'm blue in the face, I love show versus tell. Have them show them the experience. Let them feel what it would be like to have this in their own business. And then, oh, great, then you go sell it. Oh, and then you have all this data from the lead magnet anyway, so you know exactly what their pain points are. And you know what their success metrics are. And all of these different things that you're inputting into that lead magnet.
Well, and from my brain over here, you can then take that information, go back into ChatGPT and the one that you've programmed to ask your discovery call question, so that when you have questions for this person, they are designed specifically for that person's business, not your general, right? You will feel like you are an expert so much faster because you have this information that's flowing into you.
Oh, that is so smart. I had never even thought of that. That's a great idea. Oh, so good. So look how much you are customizing the nurture experience for this client, so that they, to Leah's point, so that they know that you deeply understand them and can solve their problem.
Well, and I would just be curious how much time OBMs feel like that would save them, because how much time do we spend in our head preparing for that phone call? Maybe it's just me, but right? Like I would block the hour before the call because I'm like, I got to go look at their website and find these questions and all this. Now use WebPilot to scrape their website, have it ask some pointed questions, right? Some of them can just be curiosities that you have, but other ones might be specific business questions about that. And so when you get on the phone, you feel confident, they feel like they're being heard, and now you know exactly what to go do afterwards.
Just makes me so happy. I love it so much.
Yes, my family wishes I would stop talking about AI, but
no.
We have our own podcast, Ashley.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, man. So those are the main questions that I wish that I was getting from CEOs. And Leah so brilliantly outlined for all of you how you would utilize AI to solve those problems, and really and doing it in a way where you're just talking about the results. Like, we took the curtain, we gave you the peek behind the curtain. But again, as a reminder, you don't have to tell them all the different things you're doing. You're just talking about the results that you're going to get them. And you can have even more confidence in your solutions because of generative AI. Oh, great question. What if a CEO is adverse to leveraging AI? Then you have a decision to make. Not all money's green. If you want to focus on AI and then your CEO does, the prospect that you're talking to does not, they may not be a good fit for you. And so that's why it's so important to be in different communities of fellow OBMs, where you can either pass off business to someone else, maybe someone who isn't as into AI as you are, or send them to Prowess, because we write you checks each month if you send us someone who decides to work with one of our OBMs. So again, not all money's green, not all prospects are the right prospects for you, and that's okay.
And there's a ton of this that you can apply just to yourself. So you don't have to, you can be using AI, and if that person's like, I don't want my data going anywhere near it, absolutely respect that. You don't have to go and use it to create all of their content or whatever it is, but you can use it to make your time more valuable, right? If you're spending less time, but you're still getting paid the same amount, there's a benefit there, and you're not cheating, right? Again, like using it to help you get over that like cognitive block at the moment, or just helping you be more confident that you're checking your own answers. You can scrub out information, make it very generic, and still say, am I looking at this the right way? So use it for yourself. You don't have to implement it into all of their automations.
That's such a good point. And also, AI is new. And so they may not be educated on what a private GPT is and what that means. They may not be educated on, hey, any data that you put in there, you're going to be sure it's what's the word you say, Leah? Scraped or cleaned or scrubbed. You're gonna, they may not know that. They may not realize that those are best practices. And so even educating them, they may be like, oh, phew, okay, that was my worry. But no, we're good now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, y'all, this was a pleasure as always. If you like these type of sessions where Leah and I are just bouncing ideas off of each other and you're getting both perspectives, let us know. We always just want to deliver the value that y'all are really looking for. And so the more that we can do that, the better for everyone. So one last thing, if you are interested in AI, we have a on-demand free training. So we are going to put the link into the chat so you can go check that out. It's like drinking from a fire hose. And then if you want to learn how to do step-by-step all the different things that we were talking about today, as well as how to sell your AI offers or your offers in general and utilize AI, we have our AI mastery course specifically for online business managers. So, and we're going to put the link in there too. If you have any questions whatsoever, let us know. We're happy to hop on a 15-minute call and just talk through anything that you are curious about specifically on our AI course, where it's headed, et cetera, et cetera. All right, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. See you this time next week. Happy AIing.